Hey, you guys, welcome back to my channel. We made it. It's going to be our second video and a time for us to really dig into discussing the real stuff that we want to discuss together. So, I actually said that I was going to give you a video yesterday, and it was going to be on time management, which is something I think maybe all of us coming into retirement, coming into having less people in our home. If that's your case, that's my case. And wouldn't you know, out of all the things I had to do yesterday, I lost track of my time. Time management. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? This is exactly the thing that I'm going to share and exactly the thing that I'm hoping to give tips on. And you know what? Life gets real. And it's just the way it goes. I don't know what your strategies are, but one of my best strategies is keeping lists. So I list out the things that I have to get done, the things that I have to do. And then sprinkled in within that list are the things that I hope to do, and then the things that I want to do. Yesterday was full. Yesterday was a warm weather day. A lot of our snow melted, so I took advantage of doing some of the things outside I needed to do. I thought about taking my phone with me and trying to videotape as I was outside and just even going for a walk. It's beautiful here. I live on a ridge between three lakes, and the little cabin that I'm staying in right now is on one of those lakes, just I don't know, about a quarter of a mile from my house. Anyway, time management. So I had my list. I had my things that I had to do. And right now at the resort, I'm sharing their washer and dryer so that I can do my laundry. And I wanted to have my have to do things done first in the morning. And laundry was the last thing I was going to do before I tried videotaping on time management. Oh my gosh. And so I got over there. I only had two loads, not a big deal. And I think the owners are actually in Florida. So I'm not an electrician. I can't say for sure, but I think one of the elements, or however many elements a dryer has, anyway, it wasn't heating up. And so my clothes weren't drying. And it's in their house, in their basement. There are a few other people staying in cabins here that I don't know if they're using the washer and dryer also, like I am. There are not washers and dryers in the cabins. And so I thought I just can't leave it. And I always take I mentioned in my last video that I'm also a ministry school student. So I always take my books that I'm studying with me, just in case I do have downtime and I can get in my reading and get in my studying, and which is exactly what happened. Not only did I get all my homework caught up, but I'm ahead. So there's one thing about time management. But anyway, I thought about doing this video late last night to stay within that promise that I made that I'd have a Friday video. And then I thought, no, no way. Have you guys ever tried to fit too much into your day? I do a lot, too often. And I get my sleep cycle off. I sleep in if I stay up too late. And then I'm not tired enough at night to go to bed. And so there's another thing about time management. All of these things matter. And as I was thinking about it and thinking about some things that maybe make time management such a huge deal in retirement, is I was a school teacher. And so I'm a retired school teacher. Got up at the same time every morning, took care of my family, took care of my home, my own personal business, headed to school every day. Clockwork, time management, same time every day. I had a boss I was accountable to. I had a team of teachers I was accountable to. And more than anything, I had a classroom full of students that I was accountable to. And somebody better be there when they got there. And so I lived a life of being accountable to other people and needing to be somewhere at a very specific time for other people. And then the downtime that I had was so limited because of all the time that I put into my career that that had to be regulated. That had to be managed well, or my household would fall apart. Um, people counted on me and expected me to do things, even though we were a team. My family was a team. My daughters were amazing. Both of them are excellent cooks. Um, my husband loved to dust and vacuum and clean. He helped out with the house. I was blessed. It was nice, but still, yet, I had a boss that I was held accountable to. And as I was thinking about having this discussion with you, I thought, we don't have a boss anymore. Or maybe we were the boss and we had to be there for our employees that were counting on us. However, it worked for you, people counted on us to be regulated on a time schedule. And now, at least in my life, I don't have that. I have a few things that I do. My antique booth that I mentioned in my first video, and I'm going to try to tag that video. A lot of the people that I watch on YouTube say, you can check it out in this video right here. And I have no idea how they get this video right here, but I'm going to learn. And so I will tag that video somehow, maybe even in the description. I still don't even know how to do that, but I'm learning. And I'm so glad I'm learning along with you guys because you can see how real it is, at least how real it is for someone who's non-techie. So back to the fact that we don't have a boss anymore. And if you're single, you don't even have a partner or a spouse anymore to be accountable to, or that's wondering, why are you taking so long with your morning coffee? Why are you still in bed? Why are you up so late on the computer? Whatever it is you're doing, there's nobody around here to ask me, why are you doing that? Or do you think that's a good idea? Whatever it is. And so anything that gets managed now in my life, I'm responsible for. And so I had to change some mindsets. I had to shift my thinking in how I did things. And lists for me is the main priority that keeps me on track. And it's just basic. I bet every single one of you, when you've lived as long as we have, you learn how to organize these things. I have an ongoing list, one list, ongoing. I keep adding to it things that I have to get done. I keep prioritizing it. Maybe something's got to be done from a list that I've had going for 2 days. Maybe it's got to go to the top. So I prioritize like that. As soon as I get something done on the list, big marker. I cross it out. And as soon as I have a page, because my lists can take up 2 or 3 pages in my notebook, soon as my front page is completely blacked out, any page that's completely blacked out, I rip it out. Thank goodness that's done. And then I just go on. I continue on. So that's my first tip for anybody is start a list. And start a list if you've not done it before, slowly, because it can be overwhelming. Start a list with things that you know you have to do that you easily forget. Those are the things on the top of my list. But besides that, if it's something I really, really need to take care of and I don't want to forget about it, I put it on my phone. I put it in my calendar on my phone. And whenever I put an entry into my calendar on my phone, um, underneath the title of the entry, about 3 or 4 tabs down, there's a notification tab. And it asks you, hey, do you want a notification ahead of time? And I'm like, yeah, me, I do. I'll take a notification the day before. If I'm going to travel and if I'm going to be gone, I'll take a notification a week before um, to remind me not to schedule myself. I was just going to mention earlier that in my first video, I explained to you guys that I rent an antique booth at an antique mall in my local town. And part of the contract is that each vendor volunteers a certain number of days a month. And the number of days depends on the space of your booth. When I do a video about my booth, all of that I'll explain to you and show you how cool it is. But in the meantime, um, in the past, when I'm going to travel with somebody or be gone for a long period of time, and maybe the antique booth is short a volunteer for a particular day, because I'm available and I got time, I'll sign up and then realize after, oh my gosh, I'm going to be gone that day. And so that's one way I keep my scheduling, my outside scheduling on track of things I have to do. So I don't know how to tell you to find it on your phone. I have an Android, but it's so easy. It's just part of my front page of my phone, and it's my calendar. And so, one thing that I also mentioned my late husband, Lynn, one thing that Lynn did that drove me crazy at first, but then I could see the wisdom in it. And it's the thing he had done almost his whole life from college, is he liked to keep a paper calendar hanging on the wall in a special place where he always saw it. And that calendar had every day scheduled out by time, by place, by whatever it was. It had it scheduled out. And if it was a Green Bay Packer game, had a big green circle around it. So there's a hint for you too. Special things get special colors, however that works for you. But those are two of the main tricks that I'm telling you, I would never give up. I'd never stop doing. Using my list and using my phone's calendar and setting those reminders so that I get notifications however much in advance I want to. Sometimes I have my notifications going off 2 hours before, 30 minutes before, 15 minutes before, especially if it's a busy day like yesterday. I should have totally put this video thing in in my calendar like that. And I thought later I could have brought my laptop with me to their little laundry place. But their little laundry place is way downstairs in a stone basement that is dark and dingy. And I don't know if I would ever want to take you guys down there with me. But it gets my laundry done, and so I do it. So if you have comments about how do lists work for you, really, really, I noticed in my first video, I had plenty of views. I even have some of you subscribing and liking, but no comments. And what I'm hoping for is that we build a community where what you have to share is just as important as what anybody else here has to share, including me. And so I still forget things. I still mess up using my list on my phone. Not as often, but I still do. And so, what do you do? Anybody have any tricks out there that can help beyond what we're already doing? And another thing that I thought about mentioning that I think is really important is the check-in. I also mentioned in my first video, I have two special friends really close to me. Both of them live in other cities, um, but every single morning, starting at 8 o'clock, we've given time limits so that we're not interrupting anybody's mornings, but starting at 8 o'clock and for sure by 10, If we haven't heard from one of us by 10, then it's a bit of a red flag. And of course, we give it some time because thank goodness, I think every single one of us has forgotten at least once. But having a check in with other people every day, every day, every day, every day, especially if you're living alone and you don't have somebody that checks in with you. So every morning between 8 and 10, we do a check in, and it's not a big burden. It's not a big hassle. So oftentimes it's just good morning. And then we see who sent that and we know things are okay. And yeah, we're ready for the day. In my case, I'm usually always saying something. So, and it's okay. We check in the way our personalities want us to check in, and it's good. It's okay to have a variety of friends, a variety of, perspectives. And then every evening, starting from 8 until 10 again, we have an evening check in, and I love it. I just absolutely love it. All three of us have things. We're really active in our retirement. We're all three widows. We're all three very active in our own communities. And so the evening one can straggle a little bit past 10 because sometimes we're still involved in meetings or classes or, different things that we're doing. So we give grace to that with the accountability and the intentionality that we're paying attention. If somebody didn't check in, we're paying attention and we're waiting for that. And it has happened. And so that's another thing that keeps a person on track. I love it. And I explained that to you before. Something else that happens to me that that I have to exercise self control over. And I just came out of a season of it. I go through seasons, ups and downs, like a roller coaster. And for the most part, I don't like doing it. I don't know why I do it, but I get so caught up in it. And I've had friends, retired friends, say, it's no big deal. Doesn't matter. What's wrong with what you're doing? Why would you even think that was a big deal? And that is screen time, scrolling and scrolling, or games, game time. When my brain gets tired and I get bored, I just want to do something to keep my brain active, to activate my game or to activate my brain. And I fall back on games. And my friends are right. And maybe you are too if you're thinking, what's wrong with that? Nothing. There's nothing wrong with it for anybody. But I know in my life, I'm giving it way too much time. Way too much time. I can do it for hours. And if I really get involved in a game that's accountable to other people globally, I will play it through the night. And it's like, get a grip, girl. Get a grip. This is not good for you. And then I wake up late and most of my day's gone. If I do have something that I have to do that day, I have to set a timer so I can make it to it. And I'm not my best self. And so in managing time, that's one thing that can really pull me off track that I have to recognize. I have to call it out. I have to name it so that I know what to do with it. And now, for several weeks now, I've completely, how many of you have done this? Oh my gosh, this is so confessing, but it's real, right? We're being real. I go through seasons where I am so tired of having those games control me instead of me control those games that I'll uninstall every one of them. Uninstall, delete, get rid of, uninstall, wipe it out. And then I'm okay because I have to, but this is what I learned. I have to go through the process to install them again, when I get back into that season of wanting to just waste time. It's way too easy to just install it back on and do the same thing. And these games give you all these warnings that they're not going to save your progress. Well, my phone saves my progress. So I've learned a lot of things about that. But back to wasting time. Listen, you guys, at our age, I don't know what your age is. No, really, no matter what your age is. Even if you're a youngster starting a family, starting your first career, whatever it is, wasting time takes away your attentiveness to life around you. And really, we're here on purpose. I renamed my channel, and the name of this channel now is Overflow. And the reason I felt like that was so important is because what we've been through, especially, yes, being specific to those of us in our golden years, what we've been through, what we've been able to overcome, what we've been able to celebrate, the experiences we've had in life, we've gained things that people younger than us struggle with and have no idea. It could be destroying their lives, even. I know that that's getting a little intense, but I know it happens because I've been there. And so, if we think about the way we spend our time and what we do with being intentional to experience life to its fullest, now we've got an overflow of wisdom, of experience, and of ideas and even strategies that helped us overcome some of the hard things that we're all going to go through. And so, if you're struggling, I struggle at times. There's not a person alive that doesn't have some kind of struggle or some kind of trouble. And back to, as I explained, I'm a woman of faith. We've got an ancient manuscript called the Bible that's filled with wisdom. How could some ancient person thousands of years ago know how to write to the future generations? In this world, you will have trouble. And it's right in there in plain sight. And then Jesus says, but take heart, because when you choose to do life with me, I've overcome every obstacle you're going to come up against. And I've got the strategies when you choose that you want to develop a friendship, a relationship with me. And so knowing that we have those things now to share brings hope and brings light, makes life lighter. Being able to talk to somebody that can share, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've been through it. You want to hear how I got through it? I'm happy to share. Let me hear how you got through it, or let me hear what's hard for you. And maybe we've got a connection, a common ground where we can share ideas. So that's what I'm hoping for. Um, Beyond that, I don't have to keep trying to stretch these videos out to be really long, but time management is essential. And wasting time, especially those of us that are in our golden years, man, it just sucks life out of us. I stop and think, we're already on January 10th. Seems like we were just having Thanksgiving. Like, where does it all go? And it goes fast. I know some people have said, it's kind of cliche. They say, yeah, the older you get, the faster it goes. I don't know. It is going fast for me, but it seems like it's been exponential for every age, every person, when you sit down and have a conversation with them. And so time has accelerated. And I don't know about you, but we get one life journey. And I want to finish mine well. I want to spend my time that I have here well. I want to have quality relationships. I want to know that I have value for somebody. And I want you guys to know that I look for valuable relationships in others too. And that's why I honor you here. And I respect what you have to say here. So I challenge you, be courageous. Send a comment, send a question, share what you have, because everybody has something to bring to the table, or in this case, to bring to the chat room. Everybody does. And so I thank you again for showing up. I thank you again for your support. There's going to be so much more that we're going to discuss. And I don't think we're done with time management quite yet. I think likely the next video, we're going to dig even deeper. And I might even look up some research and some things that we might want to know about it. My goal is to post a video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Um, and I don't have a length of time that I want to do that with. I know one thing. I do have some things that I shared on my first video that might be too much information of my personal information. And I've got a really close friend, an amazing lady that is just filled with wisdom. And she lives almost 300 miles from me, but we get to see each other often. And she shared some good wisdom with me about, you know, what to share and maybe what not to share too much right away in the beginning. So I'm going to spend the rest of my afternoon practicing how to do a little editing. Right now, all I'm doing is turning on my camera, talking to you randomly about things that I feel are important, and encouraging all of you to speak back, to have the conversation back. So it's two-way. So anyway, I'll be working on that. I'll be working on how to share links and how to do other things. But in the meantime, I bless your day. I hope that it's one of the best days you've ever had yet, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.